Guys, thanks for tuning in to West Virginia Astronomy. My name is Jonathan, and in this video I'm going to talk all about my Irix 45mm prime lens and how to connect it to my astronomy camera. So this hobby, it's pretty easy to get burned out and feel kind of fatigued, like kind of lose that excitement, you know, from going out night after night after night. You know, you shoot through a telescope and you kind of get the same field of view, the same focal length and all that. So I kind of wanted to change it up on myself a little bit, get excited about imaging again. So yeah guys, I got the Irix 45mm. It is a prime lens at f1.4, so it does really good for astrophotography, and I've never actually had it connected to my astronomy camera before, so this will be a new test for me. I'm going to be using an M48 filter drawer that I got from High Point Scientific. I'll use that to connect the camera to the lens here, and this lens is fully weather sealed. It's got a gasket here, and it's a semi-manual lens, meaning that you have to focus manually, but it's got internal aperture control, so there is no aperture ring on the outside here. So one thing I do want to stress, that if you go to connect it to an astronomy camera, you have to actually set your f-stop number by putting it onto whatever camera body the lens is native to. Like this one is made for Canon, so I have to actually stick it on a Canon camera, change my f number to what I want it, and while the camera's still on, you take it off and it will stay at that f number. Otherwise, if you set your f number and then you turn the camera off, connect it to the astronomy camera, it opens your aperture back up automatically. I think it's just a default kind of setting on the lens, so you won't have to worry about that. And yeah, so stick around guys, join me in the backyard as we go test out this Dragonfly 45mm. One thing I can say for sure, I've never done anything like this before. Specs of this lens are 45mm at f1.4. You can really open up that aperture really wide. I really like it for astrophotography. I've never done anything to this extent with it, but I think it'll be a good test, and hopefully stars will be nice and round all the way to the edge. This lens actually has very little distortion to begin with, so I think we'll be alright. I'm excited. Has this locking ring right here, so you can once you find focus, you can just lock it in, and not too many lenses that I've seen has that on there. Maybe like some bigger telephoto lenses and stuff like that might have it, but for a 45mm lens and you're trying to do astrophotography, it's always a plus to have something that locks in that focus. I'm excited to see what this bad boy can do. I do have the 50mm Orion guide scope on top with the ASI 120mm Mini. I don't really know if I'll need to auto guide per se, but if I use this thing, I can dither between each shot, and that just kind of creates a random noise pattern, and it just cancels out all that color noise that you see in your images, and it does a great job. And dither or die, they say. See how it goes. This will be the ultimate test for the Irix 45. Alright guys, it's time. It's about 10:30 and it's perfectly clear out. The stars look good. So I was trying to think what would be a good area to start at, and I think pretty much straight above our heads at the Cygnus Cross, and there's a lot of hydrogen alpha there, and that's where the North American Nebula is, and the Pelican Nebula, and hopefully we can get the whole Eastern Veil, Western Veil, that whole complex in there, and yeah. NGC 7000, go. Here we go, let's see what this looks like. I'm excited. pretty good. Let's actually just do a 60-second exposure and see how that looks. Okay, that looks great. Great, great, great. Okay, that looks good. We'll go ahead and start our auto sequence and get this rolling.